So there are 4 communication styles in the way that we work. So, and they're very simple when you think about them. We have passive communication. So passive communication is really quite submissive. They act indifferently. They always yield to you. They don't really express their feelings or their needs very much. Now, you're either recognizing yourself or you're potentially recognizing one of your partners. Especially in poly, you'll have one person that dominates a conversation and maybe some of your other partners don't, especially if you're all meeting, or you dominate while the other person doesn't, or vice versa. The problem is with a passive communicator, they'll often build up anger, resentment, but they can also be really safe to deal with when conflict arises. It's really lovely to have somebody who's a passive communicator to listen to you because they're gentle and sweet and kind. However, it also means they won't sort their shit out when it's going bad, and then they'll always defer to others, and that resentment will build up and be a hell of a lot worse. Passive communicators, poor body language, look down, look away, hesitate, well, like, yeah, no, I don't mind, it's fine. And it's that there's a youthfulness or a youngness to that, which also makes you get cross with them sometimes. Just fucking say what you want. So that's really difficult. So, well, I'm easy, whatever. I mean, when you ask someone what they want for a takeaway, a passive person will often say, I don't mind, you choose whatever, I'm easy. But they bloody hate an Indian takeaway or Chinese, and you order it and they'll pick at it because they haven't stated what they wanted. So that's quite difficult. Aggressive communicators, oh, you know them really quickly. Loud, demanding, taking over, intense eye contact all the time when you want to find out, like you feel like, Jesus, all right, I'm on a TV show or something. And they can be quite intimidating and quite blaming. They're quite critical, threaten, attack. And they often don't ask questions. They say, right, you need to do this. And they don't listen to what's going on. However, they're also great leaders. So you might find these people are more your dominant types of personalities if they haven't developed the listening skills yet. And some people can have a bit of both. But it's very much, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big, you're small, it doesn't matter, or it's your fault. They're the negatives. But the positives are that, they can be really good leaders in times of a crisis. You've then got a very typical British form of communication, English form of communication, which is passive aggressive. So it seems really passive. It looks really gentle and really nice, but that resentment that builds up, that will then create some conflict. So they don't acknowledge their own anger. They don't use their facial expressions properly because you can see a contradiction. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. It doesn't matter. And that face comes along, so they're really angry underneath. They're aware of their needs, but they just don't know how to tell you what their needs. Yeah, that's fine with me, but, don't get surprised if she doesn't say it's okay. What? Where did that come up? Or, yeah, of course we can do it. It won't work. And so they always have a little secondary phrase after a conversation. Then we've got the most effective form of communication, which is assertive. So, and that's what it's thought to be. It's not always, but the assertive form of communication, it's open. They express their own needs, their wants, their desires. They understand their feelings, and they can consider what you're saying and take it into account. They don't tend to cut you off at the end of a sentence. They'll nod, they're active listeners, and they'll go, okay, yeah, I get that. I really respect that. I can really listen to what you're saying. I do disagree, and that's okay, because actually I feel like this when that happens. It's okay that we both don't, and I really respect your right to say it that way. So that's quite different.